probably the last week 2 vodcast. This is Lanabean versus Muffins doing overall glitches assured sword. Next week their sword will be taken away, although they could still find one in the early game. So they're going to have to learn some new ways to do clips. But for now, we can enjoy our start sword one last time, and Maniacal will be commentating this one. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to see this race. Lanabean, someone I raced in week 1, and Muffins, I'm going to be racing. So we'll see how it goes. I am vaguely familiar with Lanabean as a runner, not as much with Muffins, just from previous racing experience. But I'm excited to watch both players go. I think it should be a really good matchup, and excited to see how it plays out. Looks like we are underway, at least on Lanabean's side, and I'm sure we'll get Muffins caught up here shortly. Both starting at Link's house. Although Lanabean is shuffled into some sort of Link Pikachu, and Muffins' world is colored differently, so we'll see how those things work out. Lanabean using an open over to Sahasrara, whereas it looks like Muffins wants to start clipping. Looks like we're going right for Hylia Island. And what are we getting? Oh, we're getting a blue mail. Not bad. Nice little early snag. Is going to force a save and quit. But both players save and quit, and didn't catch if Lanabean found anything over in Sahasrara's closet. I am notoriously awful at watching more than one screen at one time, so this is going to be a challenge. So chat, feel free to yell at me when I miss the important item while watching someone do a dark room or something where there's very little going on. Looks like Muffins is resuming with that clip up to Hobo, whereas Lanabean is headed over toward the race game. Might see pre-Kakariko Desert. Looks like that is the play here. I think Lanabean did this previously this last week, getting a clean teleport there to clip into the desert area. Not taking the rupees. And lots of divergence here early. Muffins looks like leaving from the Hobo. I don't think we extended that Hobo play to anywhere, just going right to Sanctuary and to the Bonk Rocks, finding a shovel. Lanabean eventually going to feel a little bit bad about finding that later, but hopefully we can double that gross check up with some other things in the area. And new DMA here from Muffins, whereas Lanabean is already in desert. Looks like a clean ascent there from Muffins, and a small key here in the center of desert. Didn't catch what was on the torch. Again, the very bad at watching two screens at once. So, don't think it was anything too important, judging by the tracker. And I think that was just a compass and a big key. So we're going to run all the way back across desert. So the big key was not on the torch. And looks like we're clipping to Hera for Muffins. So both runners in dungeons early. Definitely something that happens a little more in these OWG runs than in typical NMG runs, just because you have much earlier access to these spaces. They're just kind of hanging out in Sphere 1 with the hammer there in Hera Lobby. That's a really nice pull there for Muffins. And Lanabean leaving. Are we going to see an Agena check? Looks like it. And Muffins is saying, yeah, I'll do a teleport for 300 rupees. That's not an unreasonable thing, although The teleport bamboozling just a little bit. Can be really tough. Got that directional input before releasing the spin, or the whatever the input buffer would be. Most people using a sword spin won't be able to use a sword spin next week in week 3 though, until you find a sword. So I was a little surprised, just like taken aback when both runners started with a sword. I completely forgot about the mode. We're going to see a nice little rail clip here from Lanabean, headed up to Cave 45. And Muffins headed for East Death Mountain. And Flute for Lanabean. So both runners finding one trackable item. One runner tracking the trackable item. Slops to Muffins for making me remember that they have the hammer here. But they do. So would be able to come back across the mountain without clipping if so inclined. Nice red berries there in Spiral Cave. Part of the palette shuffle being deceptive. And we're back up into Kakariko. I can't even call this an early Kakariko, but a comparatively early Kakariko. Just Ether Medallion in Spiral Cave might be useful. But yeah, with the Flute, Lanabean has said, Flute makes it easy to get back and also provides one of those pieces of additional value that I would be looking for in making that play to Kakariko. And the earlier I activate my Flute, the better I'm going to be. Muffins thinking about it and then decides better of using that bomb, decides to buy the bombs here, so we'll be able to both get into the item cave as well as hit the switch in the room with all of the Smoldorms up here in the top paradox with 5 chests. So remembers their bomb count. And gets rewarded with the bailout bombs. So little filthy, but does get a refund on the buy. Always feels bad. Love when the game punishes you for making objectively right decisions. It's my favorite thing in Rando. And Kakariko Well comes with a Fire Rod and a Master Sword, but no bombs. So, Lanabean, no bombs yet. Gonna have to isolate a chest there. And it's just gonna float away. So, I'll go to the mountain where I need bombs, but maybe I'll find them. Don't have a glove, so can't lift the 50-50 rocks, but at worst, getting this old man saving quit is really nice. Muffins headed down for Graveyard Ledge. Gonna get more free bombs now that we're capped out on our max of 10. But is going to get an item check here. And we'll see... Oh, and a mirror. You hate to see that. No, mirror can be good. Mirror can also be the harbinger of really gross moon pearls, so we'll see how that goes. But I've started to feel a lot more ambivalent about early mirror. Normally I'm like, most modes just like pumping the fist, like, yo, I got mirror, let's go. And now I'm like, I don't know about this. Upon further reflection, this is not all it was chalked up to be. It's like I want to be maybe getting some mentoring about getting down to Graveyard Ledge here and deciding to go for Graveyard Ledge as well, get those bombs. So maybe this was the planned out to having those 0 bombs. We're at least taking one of them. And yeah, that throw looks a little shallow, but thankfully this cave will reset. And Muffins is headed for South Shore. Now, with that mirror going to single dip the dam. Deleting the center block, which is a call, and finding a bow. And map check looks like a 5-6 crystal at Hera and 2 blue crystals. So 3 Crystal Light World could have a pretty simplified item set depending on the lay of the pendants in Dark World for what's actually required for our runners in order to beat the game. And without having been to Kakariko for the Fighter Sword and without any magic to use that Ether Medallion, Muffins is going to have a little bit of a slower time with these Smoldorms here. But it does clean them up nicely. And Lanabean gets back to Kakariko well to resume that Kak loop. So it looks like this was just a Death Mountain dive, really predicated on wanting to get the bombs from Graveyard Ledge. I like the call. It's a good way to save some of those rupees. And Hookshot and a blue bottle. Right, bottle filled with blue goo in the Smoldorm Cave for Muffins. And going to continue that play over to Ice Rod Cave. We did not choose to tie Ice Rod Cave with Hobo, elected against the swim clip here on Muffin's side, so do need to clean this up at some point. Would have been a little faster to flute, but don't have the flute yet. So trying to remember, where was that flute? Was that desert area? It was somewhere fairly early, but oh man, we're vibing now. We got some stutters here, but things are mostly seeming to go okay. Got a water walk from Muffins, and we're turning in that bottle for Lanabean. Now, because Lanabean doesn't have the hookshot tracked, I'm guessing that wasn't the bottle from Smoldorm Cave. So I'm not sure which it was. And Muffins takes the water walk up to Zora's domain, is able to get everything out of Zora's domain, provided that the Zoras are compliant and we want the ledge item, which we don't really. And also, even if the Zoras are not compliant, we could always just splash delete back up with bombs and a bow. And not a great rate of return, but does get to single dip the area. And I'm trying to remember if while we were up in Paradox, if Muffins had sufficient rupees for Zora to click down and get the check in that way, but it's not that slow to do from a water walk. Looks like we're headed back up to the Tower of Hera. Does have a lamp. I didn't catch where the lamp was from, but that does make Tower of Hera beatable. And also having Hookshot makes beating Tower of Hera a little more palatable as well for many runners. Does elect for a hook speed. Herapod gets it rather quickly, so works out. And decides, yeah, I'll drop down. And Lanabean also headed for Tower of Hera. Getting that hammer. And we'll see. I guess we're probably just taking that hammer over to the East Mountain, but let's see the 300 rupees. And Muffins electing for Master Sword spins here. Need to land 3 of them on Moldorm. Although we went with a slash there. I guess maybe one was a poke early and needed to get a hit. I missed the very beginning of that fight. Just a compass. So with map, compass, and small key, we'll see what the decision is around the basement. I don't really like skipping it this early, but we'll see how Muffins feels, or maybe how Krithel feels. Runners, of course, are being mentored actively by a mentor in voice chat. Muffins is paired with Krithel here, and Lanabean with Breadcoon. And Dark World, we have a green pendant mire, blue pendant swamp. And I missed the red pendant, but hopefully that gets tracked. looks like it is getting tracked to Turtle Rock. So Turtle Rock and Mire both being pendants is nice. Looks like we are mirror wrapping to East Mountain here. Pretty early for this play almost. Oh, we're spamming the lamp. Not sure if there's a concern with Ancilla here that we're trying to set up. Oh, we're trying to drain some magic to fake flute. This makes a lot more sense. I was gonna say, because we could have just clipped the top of Turtle Rock here. But yeah, we have our fake flute. So we're using that blue potion from the bottle from Smoldorm Cave to get over into Village of Outcasts. We're in the Dark World here, but we just need to screen transition to get ourselves there. And yeah, Bunny Crithel turns into or Bunny Muffins turns into Link Muffins now, and it looks like Lanabean is going to use the hammer with that clip to Turtle Rock to get into the Dark World. And so now Lanabean is a bunny, but Lanabean Bunny is, instead of being a real bunny, a black and white Pokeball. Looks like maybe a Master Ball. Oh, it's a Master Ball with a Triforce, I guess. It's cute, but I don't know if I would waste it on a Pikachu. But you know, everyone or an Ultra Ball, I suppose. I think that's the one. I don't know. My Pokemon lore is not great. Meanwhile, Muffins is into the back of Thieves Town. I don't think we caught anything great at the beginning. Now we are trying to mirror into Super Bunny rather than dropping and walking through. I'm curious as to the choice here on Lanabean's side. And we're going into this door, which is okay. We don't actually want to shop. It's pretty easy to get confused. I think this is just a bit of confusion about which door leads to Super Bunny. But we do find our way through. We'll be able to avail ourselves on Lana's side of a full magic decanter. Not so bad, given the no magic situation. And does elect to do so. And Super Bunny Cave is not excellent. And Muffins, meanwhile, is still just, going through East Town. Looks like Lanabean a little bit of indecision about where to go. It wasn't Mirror Super Bunny. There's the Eastern Dive available. Like there's not a lot of good stuff still available. And they're trying to find the portal. We get there. No glove here, so yeah, Muffins fails the hardest trick in the game there of remembering you don't have a glove in the basement of Thieves Town. It's one of 3 or 4 very difficult tricks in this game. But makes it through eventually. Decides to go back and peg that red berry there with a nice Master Sword hit out of spite. I can respect it. Red berry, of course, does not fragment because it is actually a palette shuffled blueberry. This is very confusing for me. But we find an orange sword that I believe is actually an orange sword. And looks like we're trying to go into the Pyramid Fairy with a mirror wrap. So we're doing the mirror offset here, and we just need to dash into the portal. This should be good for Lanabean. That looks like Lanabean is in, and is out, and is back in, and does not have Super Bunny state now, so is out. Did have Super Bunny the first time, and is mirroring again, but this is going to be a little too low. Maybe if you enter from the top. This is a very interesting approach to this. I think Lanabean maybe just didn't realize they had Super Bunny state when they arrived. There. And looks like we're gonna run it back, get more practice. And we're back into Thieves Town here as a bunny. Muffins, this may portend that something bad happened to Muffins in Thieves Town. The Zazik's not being compliant, and so we're gonna have to go find some of them, I think, to death or to bunny revive here as Link. And of course, that early mail upgrade that Muffins elected to grab off of Hylia Island being both a blessing and a curse there, making that a little slower. And Lanabean for round 2 here on... oh, this alignment seems dicey. Maybe? Hey, it worked. Okay, and nothing in Pyramid Fairy. And the fountain doesn't want any of your nonsense. And back to Link state here for Muffins. And Pyramid has just a heart. Maybe we take it and then mirror and do Uncle. That seems pretty reasonable for Lanabean. For Muffins, what are we going to do with Link state here? We're going to go for Sea House. So Lanabean could have, to do Uncle, just mirrored below the item there on the pyramid ledge, and it would have been a nice convenient spot with an easy setup. But electing for a little bit lower of a mirror portal either doesn't know the spot or is going to do something else with that portal. Portal shenanigans, something I'm not so good at recognizing, so I await eagerly the conclusion of this saga with Lanabean and the mirror portals. And we are bunnying our way into Skullwoods on Muffin's side. Let's see how this works out. Just still hunting for that Moon Pearl. Lanabean into the back of Hyrule Castle, and small key in the first chest here is Skullwoods, so Muffins is choosing to take that to the left side here. I like this. Especially with no Fire Rod, we can't really rush the back. No cane, so Mummy's statue room's awful, although 3 small keys already, and a Dark Cross Mushroom. I wish I remembered or even observed where Muffins had found that lamp, so I knew what to think of that. That is a Power Glove there in the front of Skullwoods. That's going to be a nice, convenient item once we find that Moon Pearl. Let's see, is the Moon Pearl just chilling in the front of Castle? And this is the 3rd time I've been baited by the red berries. This run won't be the last, probably. Just heckin' bamboozled over here by this palette shuffle. The Stalfos look like they're the right Stalfos, but I don't know, maybe they're switched. looks like so far Front of Escape is not really turning up too much. Uncle Ario is pretty dead. This is why people like to skip this and then find their fire rod here an hour and a half into the race. Is because most of the time you don't. And we do have a fire. Maybe we did get a fire rod and an ice rod. That's not a thing we wanted to see. But now that we've got it, we have to live with it. And what is here at the Thief's Dropdown? Interesting to scout the Thief's Dropdown in this mode. It is slower than just dropping in, so it might have to do with preserving some world state that I'm not clear about. And Lanabean finally getting to South Shore. Gonna find that bow. Probably go find that hook shot, that blue bottle. Maybe this is where Lamp is. Maybe Lamp is also over here in Smoldorm Cave. Pretty bonkers that we have this left in Sphere 1 and we're already doing things like getting into Super Bunny Cave as sort of an isolated play. But that's one of the cool things about glitch modes is there's just so much available. So let's see. We got a hook shot, we got a blue bottle, and I totally missed. Yep, the lamp was there too. And here comes Kakariko from Muffins. Cac W indeed. See what do we win? What's Kakariko got for us today? I don't think we really found much of anything here. I think the flute may have been here. If not, I totally forget where the flute was. Maybe it was desert. And Lanabean picks up a tempered sword. And goes for the water walk. We'll see where Lana takes the water walk here. Oh, the fire rod was in Kakariko. Well, there it was. As was the fourth sword. I was wondering which sword Lanabean had that Muffins did not, because tempered sword for Muffins was in Thieves Town basement, and both runners were untempered, and Lanabean has not yet been to Thieves Town. Gonna get the $20 here from Zora, and Muffins is doing some dashing here in the chicken hut and cleaning up Kakariko. See, we have at least one of our mentors in chat. One of our mentors for this race in chat vocally. Crithel observing that Muffins is on 5 hearts, but also did clip to blue mail. So I feel like it's a real fair question about asking about finishing on 5 hearts, but you know, you got gold sword. Aren't really going to get in too many fights with that, but some of the things that deal fixed damage, you probably want to find a little bit more than 5 hearts. And Lanabean looks to be headed over to Eastern, see if we're going to... Oh, no, looks like we're doing Sahasrara first. No, we're going into Eastern here, and this is fully beatable, fully in logic. And where are we headed on Muffin's side? Dig spot? No, no dig spot. No dig, only library. And looks like Muffins is going to head toward desert. Good clip there. Good teleport. It was just a heart on Desert Torch, and Muffins is going to elect to take that heart. I guess, despite the protestations of their mentor. And see what's Lanabean gonna find now that we're in the meat of Eastern here. Just a compass in the big chest. So is going to elect to go do the vanilla big key. And Muffin's gonna get the big key here. Probably mirror out, check the big chest, but we'll see. Could do the 50-50 and just go rush land mullahs, which honestly probably the better call here, but it's sort of marginal. But is a crystal, so fully expect Muffins to beat Desert here in this situation. Land mullahs do have an item, would have been rewarded on that 50-50. But again, marginal, don't blame anyone for going back for the big chest there. Those lift rocks are weirdly Pepto-Bismol shaded. I don't like that one at all. And I'm feeling judged by all the good glitched runners chilling in chat, talking about stuff I don't even know how to do. So I'm just going to try and stay focused on what the runners are doing and how confused I get by Muffin's palette shuffle. Those are some very ecto-cooler colored torches. Weirdly, the fire rod shot is the right color, which is interesting. Yeah, so I apologize for not doing some of the diversity of decisions in this one justice. But both runners getting crystal dungeons completed. Lanabean picking up first crystal here in Desert, and Muffins, this will be, I want to say, the third crystal here from Eastern Palace, or from Desert, and Lanabean Eastern Palace, sorry. And looks like we're getting Cave 45 to checkerboard to probably Agina, and that's where the flute was. There it is. So Muffin's finding that flute. Lanabean with, a 20-some minute lead to the flute, but flute's one of those where it's not super costly. And that shovel was nothing, but did find a good opportunity to route that in with K45 and Desert. And do a little down teleport here to get it over to Checkerboard Cave. Nicely done. And Lanabean using a different Harapot setup here. not the hook speed pot, using a little bit of a bomb boost. And there, in Checkerboard Cave, is the highly sought Moon Pearl. So that's going to be really nice. Muffins does get pushed a pixel away from the wall there and runs right into that cactus. And Lanabean heading up to fight Moldorm. One spin, Moldorm is down. And a save and quit from Muffins following checking Agina's cave. Where is Muffins going to go now with his Moon Pearl? Glove, hammer, Moon Pearl, hook shot, mirror. Like, we can just go wherever we want to go. So Muffins, where do you want to go? You're going the Dark World. Are you going to Ganon's Tower? I feel like Ganon's Tower is probably the call here. And this is looking like a setup for that, so this looks good. Just needs to clip on in and is cleanly into Ganon's Tower. And we're getting a hair basement here from Lanabean. That Moon Pearl being over in Checkerboard Cave is a little problematic because Lanabean did do that desert area very, very early, but did not elect to kill the land molas at the time. And so does need to get back there at some point. But just with that area being a lot more sparse, it's not really a huge draw. But Lanabean is going to pretty quickly run out of stuff as far as like checks for what to do. At least in logic. And especially if you want to look at the in-logic things that are not really gross to do. Although we've done a lot of the gross things already. And I think we saw the Hera basement from Muffins, but I'm not certain. But we're going to get another nice Hera pot here from Lanabean. Using the Raiden pot setup. Pretty convenient. And Muffins getting a little bit bullied there by some Stalfos RNG. And then the spike. It does make it across. And Lanabean now, where are you headed? All right, we got check Spec Rock. That was a nice little leftward red boom setup there. Hadn't seen that one. Everyone kind of has a slightly different way of doing those switch rooms. That was a cool one there from Muffins. And let's see, Lanabean headed toward Graveyard Ledge, but has done that already, so is doing the King's Tomb play here. It looks high. Yeah, we're fluting out of that. That was interesting, because it looked like the sword buffer was done right. Not really sure what had happened there. Trying it again. Sword buffer up once, dash right. Okay, that's a good spot. And what's the reward? It's a piece of heart. But good to see Lanabean get through that. And let's see. I guess we don't have a big key yet because we have the mirror and we're not opening the big chest first. So the big key, I guess, was not over in the rando room. So what does Muffins need? Yeah, possible Samaria, depending on where this big key is, so it's good to get that out of the way. And I think that's it. I think it's really just like, can we find the big key here? And if so, then just go beat the game. So this one's kind of nice because we don't need the flippers to get into Ice Palace. You don't need the mitts. We can just mirror clip. It is out of logic, but heck the logic. Skullwoods, we got that fire rod. We got the moon pearl, so don't even need to I guess you would have to bunny pocket it. Would be your way into back of skull. And then Pod and Eastern are just beatable with the bow. So it seems like we do need to find that red cane, because we've left GT, and I don't think we had a big key, or we'd be climbing right now. So I'm learning that bunny pocket's only necessary if Aghanim is defeated. So how are we getting into back of Skullwoods? Chat, help me out. If we don't have Pearl. Fake worlds. All right. That's another one of those that I hope's not in logic, or it would fool me real good. I would just be Googling, how do I bunny pocket again? Yeah, fake dark world, that makes some sense, I think. And let's see, we're headed to Sahasrara here on Muffin's side. That's an interesting mirror spot, so this might be a terminal Sahasrara. We'll see. Lanabean getting that crystal from Desert. And re-entering the portal, and is going to continue in the maze. I guess just really wanted those checks at Sahasrara faster to decide, I guess, if anything was going to pull them off of this pod play. And deciding for all the Kiki frames. I'll respect the choice. And looks like Lanabean is... Ooh, had a little Y-pixel situation here. We'll see if this works out. Looks like it's still okay. All right, there was a little bit of a stutter there. It wasn't just left-right motion. But Trick is more forgiving than I thought, so that's good. And we have a bow-locked pod. As I try to remember where that bow came from. Where did we get the bow? Trying to figure out what sphere pod's in right now, but I'm not sure. When in doubt, guess sphere 2. Spheres are huge in this mode. And those dead rocks aren't really where we want them, so we're going to reset the screen. We'll see what's over here on the right side of pod. Probably 2 small keys. Heavily favored to be 2 small keys. I think it's a little over 80% because of the possibility of 5 small key front. And it is 2 small keys. And looks like we're clipping back into... Oh, no, we're up teleporting. Oh, we're redoing... I think we're trying to clip back up to the Turtle Rock portal. And that doesn't... There's a down teleport. Nice. We just need to buffer a down right input. Any way we prefer, and Lanabean is up to the portal. Nicely done. And oh yeah, the moon pearl for Lanabean's still hanging out over in checkerboard, so she is just stuck with a lot of gross stuff to do. Or checkerboard. Checkerboard and we finished Desert. We don't have the glove. Where was the glove? Where was the glove? Oh gosh. The glove in Thieves Town? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, Lanabean doesn't have a glove, so that creates a challenge to doing Checkerboard Cave, because we can't do Checkerboard Cave without it. At least as far as I know. There might be some swimming nonsense that we could do, but I've certainly not seen it. And Muffins is on to the Helmosaur fight. Lanabean thinking about where could she go. I thought that was a little too early to despawn that fireball, but looks like Muffins did get that fireball despawned with the mask break, so nicely done. And we're headed back up to Hera, and what are we doing from here? I remember seeing Muffins get the glove. I don't remember where the glove was. If anyone remembers where the glove was, you know, especially Krithel, who I think is here in chat, please remind me. Because I want to know where we need to will Lanabean to go, although, you know, Lanabean some time ago, because this is a vodcast. And Lanabean is going to clip on down. And Bunny reviving. We're going to do some Turtle Rock. No Samaria. Turtle Rock is limited to exactly chomps in logic. And then, depending on items and other layout, or like what we find there, then more stuff, but we'll see. So far, this pod hasn't seemed to have too much going on. Getting a hammer yump set up here for Muffins, although the shadow looked good, but I think maybe we're 1 Y pixel too high based on the behavior of the bomb jump. Either that or somehow the Ancilla setup was wrong. Or whatever the altitude variable, not the Ancilla. Whatever the hell it is. The thing that we need to not have set to the wrong value looked like it was set to the right value. Oh no. Lanabean is, yeah, gonna use Cape. Good call. And mirroring out rather than dying, doesn't want to lose the Dark World here. Yeah, it looked like a Y pixel issue, not a slot 0 issue. And we're going somewhere else on Lanabean's side. We're kind of out of good options, and so we're stuck only with gross ones. It looks like going over into Skull Woods is the only thing that matters in this seed. And then everything else is a distraction, which seems like it's the experience of a lot of these glitch seeds, is like there's one decision that matters, and then everything else is pretty negotiable. And we're going to use the fake flute here. Nicely done. Options are either fake flute or do a bunny DMD here, and neither of them is great. Not taking the link state here is just going to super bunny and reset the world. We'll see if we link state here. Or yeah, never mind. We need to scroll the screen. Now we can get the link state. There we go. Sorry to Lanabean and Breadcoon. Y'all knew what you were doing. Lanabean does not like the first chest of Thieves Town. Using 2 bombs. I don't think those do anything to any sort of variable slots. I know Lanabean has killed Armos Knights, so possible those bombs are going to be useful for the water, but we got more of them anyway, so. Glove is chilling in the front of Skullwoods, which it seems like Lanabean is on her way there eventually. And that's the only thing that matters, is getting to Glove to go get to Checkerboard Cave, because that's where the Moon Pearl is. But meanwhile, with Pod and Thieves Town cleared and Eastern on the way, Muffins is holding steady with that Moon Pearl and a bit of a crystal lead. Also having cleared out GT and not found the big key in the basement, presumably because Muffins didn't climb GT while there. I believe we know that the big key of Ganon's Tower has to be behind Cane of Samaria somewhere, so we still do need to find that cane. Everything else is pretty negotiable. So Lanabean is on the right path, but has spotted a bit of a lead to Muffins in this cane hunt. Now, Lanabean, for her end, does have some of Turtle Rock done. Might be disincentivized from going back there, given that we know the cane can't be there. But I sincerely doubt Muffins is going to go aggressively to Turtle Rock looking for cane in one spot. Tries to repair this Armos Knight's quick kills. A valiant attempt, if unsuccessful. I respect it. See if Lanabean... Nope, Lanabean also fails that same trick that we saw Muffins fail in the basement of Thieves Town. Tries to lift the rock without a glove. Can't do that. Have to go around. Solves the puzzle, though. And nice dashes there in the conveyor room. And now it's time for Muffins to make a decision. Where are you going? Looks like... So, Skullwoods not being cleared is a little surprising. I'm trying to think where... Okay, just clean up King's Tomb on the way. Maybe using this as like just a hedge of, I feel like things have been going pretty all right. I'm gonna clean this up just in case the Cane of Samaria is here in Sphere. I guess that's Sphere 1, because yeah, it's just you just go there. So yeah, checking those Sphere 1 locations, being sure we didn't leave the cane behind somewhere. Probably gonna head to Skullwoods at some point. That seems a little more palatable than going independent dungeons or going to do the Mirror Wrapped Ice. Mirror Wrapped Ice is pretty fast though, so maybe Ice Palace, but Caneless Ice is also sort of gross if the Cane of Samaria is just kind of chilling in Skullwoods anyway, so I like Skullwoods here from Muffins. We'll see what Muffins and Krithel decide to do, as Lanabean is headed back into Thieves Town, having a little bit better luck with the blue Zazzix there than Muffins did. Muffins had a Zazzix runs away problem, but also had fewer hearts. I think 4 hearts at the time of being in Thieves Town. Did get over here very, very early. And Lanabean is doing... We'll clean up of this overworld here. And we're clipping here on Muffin's side. Where are we going with this clip? Because it's like we aren't going to Skullwoods. That's the part that's it's got me thinking. Like, where? Super Bunny? Okay, we really just want to protect. Muffins is playing super conservatively. This is... I don't know if I agree with this call at all. Or I guess with... Maybe we got both items in Skull. That must be it. There have to be 0 items left in Skull and just don't want to go to Ice. That makes a little bit more sense. If we have both items already out of Skullwoods, then I'll do apologies to Muffins and Krithel. Clearly, I didn't keep track of that, because I didn't even remember the glove was there. But apparently we have at least 1 item out of Skullwoods. We'll find out soon when Lanabean gets up there. See what she finds. I'll have to pay a little closer attention. There's 1 item left in Skull? Okay. So I'm shocked that we're clipping to East Dark Death Mountain over going to beat a crystal that has an item, but we're just getting coverage. We're going into Turtle Rock for Mimic Cave and 1 item over here. Like, this feels like we're on the fast track to Clown Town here, but we'll see if it works out. I mean, 6 items versus 1, I guess. Volume, it can make sense, but Lanabean is getting chased by this red fork dude. I don't know if it's the influence of Chex in chat who has mentored me. Although I also, no-sirred him and went into Turtle Rock at some point in our race that we did. I think I was in Turtle Rock at some point. But, yeah, and found a cane there, I think. But, he's saying I'd never go to Turtle Rock, and I'm inclined to agree. Like, I'd be trying to at least dodge this and put this later in sequence. Yeah, I mean, once you're on East Dark Mountain, like, you kind of are priced into going into Turtle Rock for coverage reasons. But, like, I think that's the reason that you don't come to East Dark Mountain here. Like, it just seems like a great way to light 4 minutes on fire. And coverage is great once you're over here. Lanabean is just mirroring. Okay, I thought we were getting some boomerang for something. I was like, are we gonna like hit the some sort of switch or something? It looked like we were boomeranging, but we were just not menued to mirror. And Muffins is headed back into Tower of Hera. We're still in the mountain. Still don't want the 1 item in Skullwoods. We'll see what that 1 item is here from Lanabean. If the 1 item here in Skullwoods is Cane of Samaria, then that obviously is huge. It's unlikely, given that there's the entire heckin' world. But we're going to Spike Cave. On Muffin's side. Allergic to 2 beatable crystals. And gets the red rupee. I don't want to, like, seem like I'm piling on here and, like, harping on the same nonsense. But I'm just very surprised at this decision here from Muffins. I think it's really interesting. And Lanabean taking a death here. I think that was probably either a bunny revive or... Yeah, it looks like it was a bunny revive, I guess. I have no idea how most of this stuff works. And okay, we're doing a little DMD there. Suppose is a little bit faster, and lets you check the ledge here. Mom was telling me I can prove something in combat. I'm not proving anything. I'll prove that I don't know what I'm doing. That's my strategy when I do these races. My results are solely the results of my mentors. Sorry, Brad. I had nothing to do with my results. I'm like, yo, where do I go and how do I get there? I promised I was going to pay attention. Yo, Muffins is going to Skullwoods. Let's go. Because I totally missed what Lanabean found there. And it looks like it was the cane of Samaria. It looks like it was the cane. Wait a second. You kidding me? Muffins, you just lit 15 minutes on fire. Why are you doing this? All right, well, Muffins is waiting on the Wall Master. Definitely can get behind that if you aren't comfortable with where you are in the cycle. Don't get 1.0'd out of the Moth Hole. Is about to find a Cane of Samaria here on Moth. Statistically pretty high value location that was left. And you know, so this seed really is like just do your crystals forehead. Find Moon Pearl, and then just do your crystals. Double dip Skullwoods is kind of gross. But does get that Cane of Samaria. That is go mode. Just needs to go to Ganon's Tower, go to Ice Palace, in some order. Probably not that order, but you know, got a choice. And Lanabean is finding her Moon Pearl here. Just over an hour. Feels bad. But you know, is on the right track. Does have the Cane of Samaria, so that for Lanabean is like just straight up guaranteed go mode Moon Pearl. That is excellent. So Lanabean just got a haul. But you know, Muffins, provided that the mirror wrapped Ice Palace, which looks like it's going a-okay here. Oh no, that's oh okay. We can just auto walk. That's fine. You guys got a little higher. No, we're just gonna set the Pixel manually, but does it very quickly. Could use a bomb to do it if needed, but just needs to mirror wrap off of this screen. Foxlisk had a really nice setup for this that involved like basically auto jumping and like transitioning a little higher. I don't know whose setup that was, but you know, learned it from Fox. This looks scary. I think it's not scary. I think it's okay. And yeah, this looks like a good wrap. That's a little low, but maybe okay. Just needs to push down, and that's not it. We're gonna have to try it again though. The thing that stands between Muffins and great success in this seed is this mirror wrap. So gonna get some live mentoring here maybe. It's pretty fast to fail, which is good, and you know, we've saved and quit into it, so that really does mitigate the extent of loss that can be experienced here. And I guess this it is the speedrun strat. That makes sense. also makes sense why Foxlisk would know it. So many great mentors in this tournament, and like people so giving of their time to really teach those of us who have no heckin' clue about what we're doing how to like glitch our way around in this silly game. Looks like we do have hook speed here, so that's good. Muffins just needs to get in. Yep, there we go. And down and transition, and just needs to mirror wrap here. And we've already seen pod, so that looks good. A little bit higher. There you go. I just need to tap down and clip out of the wall. And yep, and go into the dungeon. There it is. All right, we in there. Oh my god, it's awful. Leave. Just back out the door. This pallet shuffle, I can't. I know there's a crystal here, but what is this? Looks like the Link to the Past on a Game Boy. Can't handle it. Lanabean with some nice bomb strats here on Helmasaur King. And with Canis Samaria in hand, Muffins, is gonna hit the switch, probably go back an Icebreaker, and then is gonna haul ass for Cold Stare, and then back to GT for right side Big Key and Climb. And that's gonna be it. Like that's that in the Ganon fight. Lanabean, meanwhile, is on the right path. Is buying some potions. Depending on how smoothly this goes and how Lanabean chooses to route Ganon's tower, this could be fairly close. Lanabean has caught up quite a bit by virtue of a couple small things like trouble with the mirror wrap to ice on Muffin's side, as well as having that Canis Samaria before having that Moon Pearl, staying in Skull Woods, and not having to go on the extended cane hunt. Has really made up a lot of time and closed the gap here. So we're dealing with a situation where, surprisingly, we actually have a pretty close race going on. I was not certain we'd be getting that, but here we are. Although, looks like Lanabean, getting surprised Grass Guard. He's just going to clip in here. Just dumb clip, get up on the ledge. Or down teleport, that's also good. However you get up on the ledge. I think dumb clipping works. I'm not sure. I always do the way that Muffins did it. And does use the bomb to normalize the X pixel with the edge of the screen. And gets that mirror wrap, so yeah, just don't scroll too high. That might be a little low still. I think you want to go up a little bit more. Yeah, I want to see the top of that sprite in that last tile there, that last top 16 pixels. Looks like we might be getting some live mentoring. Does tap down and is cleanly in. Nice mirror wrap there as Muffins has a really clean Cold Stare fight for all I could tell, because I missed the whole darn thing watching this mirror wrap. We're back out of the Game Boy colored Ice Palace, so I'm happy again. We're going back to Ganon's tower on Muffin's side, so yeah, Muffins just has to find that Big Key and climb. So ahead by most of an Ice Palace, plus for all relevant details, a large fraction of a Ganon's tower basement, although that is very much like TBD how much of that Lanabean does. But still with a lead that reasonably could prove to be decisive. Now Muffins does need to successfully get back into Ganon's tower. This looks good, and cleanly in, yeah. Just a little bit of trouble setting up that hook speed state, but gets it. And going straight for the right side, because that's where the big key's hiding. See if we're gonna play the 80%, or if we're gonna start with tile room. Where are we going, Muffins? Please, for the love of God, don't do tile room. Just go. I think tile room is guaranteed a small key, actually. I think, yeah, with that key count, unless something weird happened. I think by key logic that we're forced to have a small key in tile room, because the only way a small key can be here is if the big key's here. Or rather, we're forced to have a big key here. I don't think we're forced to have a small key in tile room. But we're forced to have a small key in tile room or there, which forces the big key. I'm struggling to articulate a very simple idea right now. But Lanabean is doing some nice fire rod dupes there. Starting off cold stare fight with that. Clean fight. As Muffins is into Mimics 1. Oh, a little bit of a hang up here. Mimics 2 is awful because this stuff just happens. And Lanabean is spending some time with this picket. Gets a shield eaten. Lanabean doesn't really like shields so much. So decides it is worth it to discard the shield. Restore symmetry to the front of the sprite. And needs to get into Ganon's tower, find a big key. Okay, we're clipping. Where are we going? Oh, that was fancy. I didn't recognize what Lanabean was doing there. I mean, obviously it was getting to Ganon's tower, but I don't know exactly how. Good second Rad Zazix there. And yep, Fire Rod shot. And some sword slashes through the gauntlet for Muffins. Pretty clean gauntlet there. Nicely done. And is going to run straight through. Has half magic. Didn't catch where that came from. But there were a lot of spots that Muffins went to that Lanabean didn't. Does have that half magic advantage. Might even just be here in the basement of Ganon's tower. But Lanabean is headed left. This is the correct route, but an unfortunate one given the big key location here. But I guess, I don't remember, was there a small key in Hope? Might have been very reasonable to end up in Compass Room. I love seeing all the different red boom strats. I don't know. I prefer the blue boom ones, but I do like that there's like 6 different ways to do those 2 switches with red boom. Into Torches 2 here. One of many great A Link to the Past room names for Muffins. And finding the flippers, there they are. Why wouldn't they be right there? So with how jetty this seed was and how the Kinesamaru was just kind of chilling there in Skull Woods, like very reasonably attainable early, you probably feel a little bad about those flippers if you're Muffins, just because it means that your opponent absolutely did not go into Swamp Palace. So like it reduces the space of live outs that you have in terms of like how do I feel like I'm doing in this race relative to an opponent. But we know that Muffins has a pretty comfortable lead here, is ahead by basically an entire tower. Lanabean still needs to get through the right side. Nice setup here on Ice Armos. Looks like a reasonable emulation of the NMG Ice Armos, complete with the 19th arrow into the wall. Good triple there to finish out the Agatu fight. Got one red ball, it looked like. And is headed over into right side of basement here, where the big key is for Lanabean. I believe because we didn't open the center door that we're guaranteed, of course, that small key that I spent a minute and a half babbling about inarticulately. Like some sort of goon, while Muffins drops into the Ganon fight. Gold sword, no silvers, but half magic. I cannot reasonably expect someone with the level of execution that has been on display by both runners tonight, or previously today. I don't know when they actually ran this. Whenever they ran it, that they've put on. Can't reasonably expect either of them to struggle with Ganon, but weirder things have happened, so we'll see how the fight goes. Cleanly into phase 3, though. And does have the lamp menu, too. Looks like just setting up just to guarantee that torch glitch. You can rapid fire that lamp, whereas Fire Rod cannot do that, so pretty compliant Ganon for getting that torch glitch started. And top right pig is always miserable to get spins on, and it does bail on that, so good. Is going to set up for some triples, obviously more top right pigs, so we're going to see. Doesn't quite get there. Lanabean finishing Mimics 2 on her final arrow. Looked like there were some arrow problems, and we have a very pink Ganon. So yeah, little bit of a hang up here on the Silverless Ganon for Muffins, but still a fight pretty well in hand. And I mean, you're looking at 117, like it's a pretty nice time for one of these seeds. Go mode Moon Pearl potential is terrifying, just because like really nice pendant crystal layout and stuff. So as a racer, unless things have gone insanely, you never feel all that good about the time, but maybe now Muffins can breathe. Gan's exploding. GG to Muffins, gonna cross this bridge. And we'll take this one down. And we'll set up a round 3 Swiss matchup with me this week. So I'm looking forward to getting to race Muffins. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure I'll probably get rightly crushed, and I'll get this DM that's just like scoreboard for all your shit talking. But I'll deserve it. But no, really looking forward to racing Muffins. Looking forward to seeing everyone continue to grow and learn this mentor tournament. And this was a really good race, really well played by both runners. There's no one plays a perfect race, so pretty free of major defects though on Muffins' side, and demonstrated a lot of great glitch knowledge. as Lanabean is climbing, is going to finish up. Is good to finish. Tiebreakers in this. The score delta tiebreaker is time-based. So finishing with less than a 15-minute time delta relative to opponents is the good thing to do. Does need to real fake powder here. Has the game knowledge. Nicely done by Lanabean. Doesn't need that chest. There's very few things that she could find. Really just silver arrows. It could be useful. And so not going to gamble on those. And bombing more chests. Normally you bomb to get a free menu, but with quick swap that's not really anything. So it does really just want to show consternation for the post Moldorm 2 location there. Also, probably does know about the race results, so it's just having some fun finishing out. But definitely, I see the bang R command has been entered by our restreamer Malmo, who's also the owner of this channel. In chat, so follow Malmo, but also follow our runners Lanabean and Neo_Muffins. Oh, that's right. Malmo's probably piping straight bangers out for everyone, because I can't hear any of the great music. I'm just talking over and making it less great. As Lanabean's dropping into the Ganon fight, I'm sure she'll get cleanly through it. Again, gold sword, silverless, not the scariest fight. Does not have half magic, but does have 10.5 hearts to work with. Don't think she ever clipped over to Hylia Island to get that blue mail. I did like that decision early by Muffins. Blue mail, especially early in a race, can really let you make some good decisions about skipping things like heart containers or pieces of heart, just knowing you have that available early. It does make death warping a little more challenging, but did get the mirror pretty early. Does hit torch glitch here and is set up. Gets top right pig, nice, and is set up to fire rod. Looking like she's setting up for some triples. Good setup. Oh, goes for the cape slash. So much respect. I've seen Lanabean do this a handful of times. I think in watching back our race from earlier in this tournament that she did this as well. She has a pretty good calibration for where that 3-frame window is for that slash, and goes for those cape slashes and doesn't seem to freeze Ganon all that much. So pretty skillful there and reasonably executed fight. Gonna cross the bridge just right around 5-ish minutes behind. So well raced by Lanabean. Still a great time, sub 123. Again, pretty speedy seed. GG to both our runners, Lanabean and Muffins. And again, big thanks to Malmo for putting on the restream. Glad I was able to step in and commentate it. Hopefully folks enjoyed it. I think that's going to do it for me. This is, I think Malmo said, the last of the restreams or vodcasts that she's going to do of week 2. Next week, me and all of the other mentees are going to lose our free sword and have to forage for our sword in the world. And so we'll hope to be blessed with early swords, but some seeds inevitably will not be. And so you may see some different strategies for clipping around the world in week 3. Our last week with just OWG logic before we have to move into HMG, which will be its own fun adventure, but that's coming up in a couple weeks. For now, just OWG without a sword, so hopefully y'all have enjoyed the swords. They're not long for this world, and I'm sure we'll be back with more races in the coming days with no starting swords, so it should be fun.